Welcome back to Worldwide Wednesdays, where we talk about hot topics on the internet.
Hot topics on the internet. Ryan has joined us for our first Worldwide Wednesday. And so I want to go into a topic that I think all of us have different, not only opinions, but different experiences. So if we could throw that up real quick. What was it like growing up with technology? And Ryan, I know you have 2 young children too, so I want to know your thoughts on how you will have them grow up with technology.
Yeah, you know, we wanted to hold back on iPad and stuff like that as much as possible, but it's so hard to do that. It really is. I mean, once they get a hold of it, then it's over pretty much. So you got to like try to stop that from happening. But I think so. Once it did happen for our son, we were kind of like, okay, well, you know, we're going to try to, you know, negotiate what he watches, you know, not let him just watch Peppa Pig all the time. And that actually worked out. I mean, he got into number blocks, which I recommend if you've got, you know.
Never heard of that.
Yeah, if you've got a 2, 3, 4-year-old, maybe 3 or 4, and they get a hold of the iPad, put on the number blocks. My son is a math whiz right now, and I really think it's because of that show. They make numbers really easy and understand. And he's 5 and he knows multiplication, division. And I think that it all kind of started actually from the iPad, and because we didn't let him watch, you know, Peppa Pig and stuff like that, we made him watch educational stuff.
I was thinking that where a lot of people say growing up with technology, especially like now, can hinder development and education. But like you said, it also helps in some ways where as long as you put them on the right track, like they might get a jump start just like your son.
My wife says that the bulk of what you learn actually and in your brain actually happens in those first few years. So I think that there is something to be said about, yeah, you can inject a lot of education in really fast, but if they're just staring at a screen, you're also doing detriment then to their social skills. And I think that we see that a lot with everybody and technology and their phone and screens and stuff like that, instead of actually interacting with people. So could we have done maybe some harm in social skills? Possibly. We don't know yet. So.
I don't know. He's a pretty social kid.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. No, he's so, like, he can hold a conversation. He's so stinking cute. But then I was also going to say, like, even talking about the math stuff, hearing you say that you kind of attribute it to these like videos, the first time I ever met him, he was like, ask me math questions.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, like 2 + 2. He was like, 4.
Like,
give me something harder. And then he was like, ask me multiplication. Oh my goodness, okay.
Yeah.
Sure. And he was like, it's too easy. Division. Division?
Division, yeah.
You can do division? That's crazy.
Yeah, and he also, we'll play a prime number game.
What?
Yeah. I'll ask him a number and I'll just be like, is it prime? And he'll be able to tell you if it is or not.
Really?
Yeah.
Like, how high would you go up?
I mean, I've tested the limits, but, you know, because I also want to be able to figure it out myself. But yeah, no, and then, like, you know, it just kind of branched into different things. He actually watched a video one time on learning large numbers. I mean, I'm talking about like numbers with, you know, 30 zeros on the end. And there's ways to name those things. And so you could say, like, well, Wyatt, what's a number with 43 zeros? And he'd tell you the name of it.
Well, I think there was like a time Evan was like explaining something with a calculator.
Yeah.
And he educated you on how to use the calculator like correctly, or something with like the zeros.
It was exponents, and he was saying this symbol on the calculator means that how many ever zeros are after this. And I'm like, oh yeah. And then I re-explained it to him, and then in the middle of explaining, I'm like, wait, you just said that to me. Why am I explaining this to you? And then later that session, conversation, we were talking about the number pi. Has he been practicing his pi?
No, actually. Is that something that you guys talked about, though?
It was, and
then afterwards, we were
me and I had been for like 2 straight days trying to remember our pi. Mia, go.
3.14159265
Mm-mm.
38
Mm-mm.
358.
So next time I see him, I want.
How many digits did you make it?
I don't know.
Is
That
that
had to
7
have
or
been
8?
Yeah, that had to have been like 8. But we had like drawn everything out and almost like grouped it up and done it. Like I know at some point your birthday's in there.
4/6, April
Wow.
6th.
That's cool.
Easy to
There's
remember.
like 4627. I know.
2/6. Your birthday.
Oh,
Right next to each other?
whoa.
Yeah, there's 4/6, which is April 6th with me, and then 2/6, and she's October 26th. So
Oh,
Nice and easy to
that's-
work
yeah,
out.
so you make a
Yeah.
little
So we almost like grouped it by like just ways to
remember the numbers.
remember like different dates. Now it's all gone. We're gonna have to
Yeah.
do that
Back
again.
out again.
But something I think is interesting because you were talking about like having Wyatt do or have your son do some of those like games young. I think it's almost the difference between parents like not. I think maybe for like our generation a little bit of our parents didn't necessarily know what giving us like the iPads and the iPods really young didn't necessarily know just yet how much access we had to the internet or how like vast that is.
Yeah.
So then I just don't feel like there was as much regulation and not like our parents' fault, but almost like they just didn't know at the time.
Mm-hmm.
So I had like free reign of the internet
Oh, wow.
at like maybe 8. I had YouTube. I was watching conspiracy theories.
And
I
8 years
kid you
old
not.
is young, but compared to now, like 4 or 5-year-olds have that access. So I think it is a difference where you and I, and my mom talks about this too, where like we were kind of like, older Gen Z is the last generation to still like grow up for the most part. I know kids nowadays go outside, but like I had the, hey, once that street lamp turns on, come inside. So I don't want to say we're like the all high and mighty, but we had the transition there where we still grew up with not as much technology and then transitioned into our teen years as having full access. A little earlier for me, it sounds like, but
Yeah, well, I had an older sister, so I think part of it too was even
Yeah.
like my sister's 4 years older, so I caught a lot of the things that she had growing up on that end. So I think like even like my first iPod Touch was a hand-me-down. It was her iPod Touch, and then I think at that point maybe she had gotten an iPhone. But now I always had like, again, full reign access of the internet. And it's interesting now because even kind of looking back on it, like a lot of like YouTubers and a lot of people that were just like starting out kind of in that social media influencing world were people that I watched a lot of. And now being older and viewing things like on the internet, like a lot of people that were older than me were engaged with that kind of content. But it was just that I had it a little earlier.
Ryan, I want to go to you where you're only like just a couple years older than us, right? I want to know when technology really started getting in your face, where it just felt like technology is just everywhere you look, and kind of the differences when you were growing up compared to what you are as a father now with your kids growing up.
Yeah, so I mean, you know, I grew up with like the original Nintendo and stuff like that, you know, and Sega. I would say that like things really started to flip probably. It was probably not until college, like when I was blown away with the first smartphone, you know, like when the iPhones first started coming out, that was college. And that's, I think, when things really started to just, you know, change in general. You had just everything then at the palm of your hand. Whereas before, like, you had to still go to the library and use their computer or something like that to look something up, or, you know, probably still use your textbook or something like that in school. But like, I remember when the internet came out, I mean, in the 90s, that was, you had to dial up, you had to buy hours, and it came on a disc. And sometimes you would get those in the mail for free, and sometimes you would have to buy, and then you'd have to have this phone modem set up, and it'd go, "Bing, dong, ding, to sign
The
into
AOL?
AOL to get into the internet, and like chatting with people, you know, and stuff like that was really, you know, kind of big too. That in the 90s. But yeah, I remember like that was kind of amazing. Like that I don't know, that it's gone really fast though. Really, really fast.
And what do you use now that you take for granted that a younger you wouldn't even maybe perceive of happening?
Take for granted. I mean, definitely just having Google, stuff like that, where you can just ask any question, you know,
Yeah.
and get a reasonably right answer, I would say. You know, I mean, they say that it's, you know, ChatGPT and all that stuff still has inaccuracies, but I mean, just like last night, I was just like, you know, hey, give me a fajita recipe, you know, and just, you know, gave me like, you know, exactly what I needed, and then I just, you know, was able to make it. Instead of before, you know, like you'd have to, I don't know, look through a cookbook.
Either a cookbook or this is even like just difference between like using Google versus like ChatGPT, because that feels like its own completely different thing. Where I can throw into ChatGPT like, here's what I got in my fridge. Like, what can I make?
What can you make with this?
And so that's awesome. And then the amount of times that I go to look for a recipe, and this is like such an insignificant problem, but the amount of times I've gone to look for a recipe and instead it's like, this was my great grandmother's recipe. We make this and it's like a whole blog.
Yeah.
And then
you're
down
just
at the
like,
bottom,
gosh, get to the bottom
you
of it.
finally get to like the recipe, but even then it's like, this is if you want to make it under 5. Here's the real, like I'm just still looking for it.
Yeah. Look back up at my tips for this part. It's like,
I
no.
don't know. Just give me the recipe. I don't have time for this.
Exactly.
So then using chat, I can kind of ignore all of that. But then I feel really guilty because I'm like, oh, someone's little blog out there somewhere needed that view, and here I am plugging it into ChatGPT.
Yeah, times are changing.
They are changing, and I want to just quickly go back to like entertainment, where you had your son on educational stuff, but I mean the amount of AI garbage that's out there nowadays, like I think it's scary how we're in a time now where sometimes you have to question if something's real or not.
Yeah, looking at, you know, stuff on social media and everything like that. I've always hated social media. I can just see the worst in what that can bring out, and it just feels like we're just in a constant spiral towards that. And I mean, there's just going to be a point in time where you're not even going to know what's real or not on social media unless there is some, you know, so like you go on Twitter and at least it'll have like something that'll say sometimes, you know, like this video is not real.
Yeah.
But then there might be times that it gets on there and you don't know, or, you know, like it hasn't got to it yet or something like that. And then you're influencing people already, and they might not know it because they might not go back to it to find out that that didn't really happen, you know? And all of that stuff is out there. And if I could do one thing, it'd be to destroy social media.
I'm with you where
If I could press one button and just delete it from memory, that would be the one thing.
I don't know how long it's going to take, but I think social media is going to be like a fad. Like it's just going to have its own era in society. I don't think, however long from now, 50 years from now, I don't think social media, at least how it is now, will be a thing.
That's interesting.
I don't see it going away. I see it getting worse, and I see it
I think it's going to destroy itself. But I don't know how that happens.
I don't know.
I think to an extent, people will get a little bit disillusioned by it. Like I feel a little bit that way already with like social media. So like my own Instagram, I frequently will like go through, well, I'm not gonna say frequently, I'm not like obsessive with it, but like I will go through like my followers, and like there's some people that are like following me on there that like I haven't talked to this person in like years. And it just feels like sometimes like this person's just like watching me. Like you're not liking my posts. Like I see you're viewing my stories. We're not close anymore. Like what do you, like you're just watching, and that is weird to me. Like we're not really friends. It's like why do so I will like go in and I'll remove followers, because I'd rather like kind of keep the people that I've moved to so many different states. I've been so many different places. There are people that I'd like to check in on and like we'll still like respond to each other's stories. I'd rather almost like keep my circle closer than have it feel like, I don't know, almost like I'm being judged. Like I just don't really feel like I need that. And then I've gone through my following, and I've removed a lot of like influencers, like unfollowed a lot of like things that like I don't understand why I was following it in the first place. Of like it's just like a person just like posing with like a drink, or like just like a poppy or like an Olipop or like the different like probiotic. Try this new. I'm now like and
It'll all
I'm like
turn into ads.
yeah, and I'm just like I don't love it. So I feel like a lot of, if I opened up my Instagram right now and we went to my Explore page, it is just food. It is just food videos. It's just cooking. It's just recipes. And I kind of like it better that way. And the algorithms are so interesting because the more that I like that content, the more of it that I get. So then I can, keeping that in mind with social media too, of like, I can kind of like, I can curate what I want to see and what I don't want to see. So making sure that I'm keeping those things still like on my page.
Yeah. I don't know.
It's a whole new world. Really, it is. Like this technology era feels, I always say dystopian. Like like everyone's watching you, anyone can watch you, and I don't know how we're gonna like go through here. I guess I should say when I think social media is gonna fall is maybe like influencer and like posting yourself and like personable. I still think entertainment, where like you might get like the TikToks and YouTube's, Twitch streams, whatever it is, but I don't know if in a long time we're gonna have people like self-promoting themselves. I don't know. Because I think there's gonna be a whole different way of doing that, where, I mean, you already can create an AI version of yourself, maybe holograms, I don't know. I really don't know.
I want people to go back to like blogging on social media. I miss that.
Really?
Yeah, I'd rather someone be like, this is what I did today, and almost like, I don't know. I think that'd be more fun than just like a picture and just like a little
I think reading's
five-word caption.
Reading's gonna fade out, at least online reading. Everything's gonna be AI. If you write something, an AI voice is gonna tell you it, or create an AI video. I don't think people are gonna write in the far future.
Literacy is gonna
Yeah.
die.
No.
It is crazy.
I'm telling your mother.
Yes.
She's a librarian.
I don't know, it's hard to say. I mean, like, you look at the way things have gone in just the 20 years, you know, like, it's hard to say what 2046 is going to look like.
That's what I'm saying. Where I don't think we can ever know or even guess anywhere close, because timelines split, right? Something happens, something's created, and what you thought is going to happen 10 years from now, nothing. Nothing like it, so. All right, well, we've run out of time on that. I want you to follow producer Evan, WJHG, on Facebook, and tell me your thoughts on technology and how you grew up with or without, or if you are a parent, how are you going to limit their access to the World Wide Web? Interested to know that.
Or not limit it.
We'll see.
Lots of options. Thanks so much for joining us for this Worldwide Wednesday. We will catch you next time.